Whiskey Delta November traffic. Rainman Tree is taxiing to runway 28, Sierra Whiskey Delta November traffic.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Can everybody hear me? Welcome to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and Brazil. Dianopolis, elevation 2,395. And we are about to take off to a lake nearby to put out a couple of fires on the place. We might find another lake too, east from Dianopolis, but we're going to start going west. Alright. Ignition continuous. Landing lights on. Flaps 10. Condition full. Alright. We do have where do we have this one? There we go. We should have the flight plan. There we go. So we do have oh, 10, all right. Well, maybe west and east was not right, but that means that just check this. So yes, all right. We're gonna start with a left turn. Gee, I would like to have my heading. So this time I could not set this one up in the Garmin. It was too hard to find it on the map, find these places on the map, so, or on the GPS. So yeah. However, I'm gonna see if I get any information here. One 04. Hang on. Right, but we are gonna have our first custom one. Custom 319er. Seems to be 319. All right. There we go. Let's go. keep it live. So this plane isn't, as you can see, registered here. Brazil, it's a, I believe it's a Spanish plane. I mean, registered in Spain, but flying for the Portuguese. And that's the closest we're gonna get to Brazilian one. I don't even know if they have this plane turning the wrong way. Here we go. 319er. Flaps up, geared up, condition. Cut back on the condition. Checklist complete. So today the air seems thicker, so it's probably going to be easier to fly than yesterday. We have 50% of fuel on board and no water. I'm going to scoop it, and that's that. You can see we don't have much mountains going on around here, but it might be interesting nonetheless. What about the distances? How do I get the distances? I don't, or am I blind? Anyway, it's about 9 miles, just 9 miles from the airport, so this might be it though, I don't know, maybe not. Wouldn't be a good thing if the actual lake isn't present. It's interesting how I just can't seem to find the lakes. Anyway, we spotted a live fire. Just gonna check that it's on as it should be. Yes, it is. Very well. And this might be our little lake. I don't know. Yes, it is. So yes, this whole piece should be a lake, but Microsoft Flight Sim, so it isn't. It's quite a huge lake, actually. But the only thing we had access to is that little piece down there, which is quite annoying. But that's what we have. winds 120. Alright, so it's gonna be crosswinds, so I might as well just go around and, man, this is ridiculous. The lake dried out, I guess. Right. It's big enough, I think, for us to scoop at least. Alright, let's see here. Stand by. Probe's coming down. Outer feather select. Ignition continuous. Flaps 10, 15. Power lines.
Caution, terrain.
Inhibit. Alright, props full. A little bit hard. Flaps up. Should be a couple of fires all around us, so we can check the map. But the plan is, after we put out this one, we go to the other side of what was the name of the city again? It was Dianopolis. Yeah, so I'd say this area is, you know, not super exciting. It's interesting with a little bit of hills, or can I call them mountains? I don't know. You can call them mountains, I think. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward, I'd say. Yep, it's out. I wonder what this was. This was another custom. It might be another fire, so let's get back in. Right, I think we had 2 fires here actually. So we're gonna scoop one more and go check it out. Then we're gonna head east. Well, it's actually southeast. I'm going to try to scoop the other way now, just for kicks, and see how it goes. But we need to watch out for them power lines on the other side. If we don't turn sooner. So yeah, I'm probably going to initiate a right turn right after scooping it, so probe's coming down, ignition continuous, outer feather select, and we are way too fast. Well, we had the wind in our tail, so that makes sense. Flaps 10, 15, my prop's coming. Whoopsie daisy. Too early. Get back down, get back down, get back down. What's gonna happen? See the power lines just to the left of us. There we go. All right, so setting up the power line to our left here. Probably going all the way. And we get the fire visual on the fire. Fires! Oh God! Alright, so we got multiple sources here. So we're gonna make some priorities, I guess. And is that another lake? No, or maybe. No, I don't think so. Yeah. Man, it would be nice to have an autopilot since you're flying this one yourself anyway, even if you shouldn't. So either they give us the autopilot in this, or yeah, I mean, I could make her fly it, I guess. I don't know, probably. I haven't figured that one out yet. So I'm gonna do it for the next stream, I think. You should be able to hand over the controls. Hey there, Black Knight. Sorry I didn't see you there. I'm just too freaking slow. I would say that like landing, you land as much into the wind as possible. No, I don't want it, but the lake was defect. We only had that little stretch basically, so there's nothing I can do about it really. We don't have many water sources around here. So either way it was crosswind either way, so. But thanks for the input. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate when people write in the chat too. It's not a common sight these days, except for my regulars, so to speak. They pop by and say hi, so welcome, Black Knight. Right, we're gonna take a little flight around here and just, check which one we should take out first. Gonna see what kind of wind data I have on my sensors. Wind direction 121, 116. So it's pretty much as it was before-ish. We can change it a little bit. I usually use the course needle for, just a quick check, quick reference. This one is close to road, however, it's not moving towards it, would be my guess. But the smoke, it might be different. Anyways, I'm glad. I don't know if this episode's going to be as exciting as the other ones in SoCal. It's a little bit more dramatic in SoCal. And yesterday was dramatic in Queensland, Australia, because we had like such low air density. Man, I always mix them up, low, high. Anyway, not good for flying density. So the plane was pretty heavy, you can say. Pretty hard to deal with. Alright, let's go into the wind, I guess, as much as possible. Arming the drop doors. Hang on, maybe I'm doing it wrong now. I should be heading 121. That's it. I should be heading 121. However, it doesn't feel that bad really. I could make a drop. Oh. We'll see how that worked out. Yeah, so I would love to drop half a load, just make half a drop, or fourth, like one at a time out of four, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I don't trust it, so I just do single full load drops, as for now at least. Alright, yeah, let's go scoop another one. Yeah, I would love to have another water source around here, because that is closer actually, but it just doesn't. Alright, let me cheat a little bit. We do have a little one over there, but that's too small. We do have a couple. Hang on there. We need to. Yeah, we have a lot of water over here. So I wasn't hallucinating. I don't know why it's so hard to spot it on the GPS. And one would think the Garmin, this one, would give you pretty clear information. I put it on the most sensitive setting so it would locate everything like lakes and whatnot. Not a single lake, you see? Nothing. Santa Rosa, maybe these are lakes, I don't know, but I don't think it is. I think they are cities or towns. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, some parts of the world isn't, and the coverage isn't as good as it should be, but yeah, I want to see if we can find. Man, this doesn't look good though. Not at all. Man, hang on. Move this out of the way. We have another one down there. Yeah. So, I tried to scout before, you know, so I have an idea of what to look for, where to look for it, but yeah. So I'm going to try to go into the wind and see if I can take I'm thinking that one over there might be big enough. At least for half a load. I mean, I could do half a load. Those fires weren't that big. Since we can't do 2 drops, we might as well just take half a load. Just, you know. And man, am I high up. Yeah, we'll see if it goes. I hope I can use the whole length of that little lake, but we'll see. Doing my best to get down in speed. Not much is happening on that front. Yeah, might be long enough. All right. Gonna bleed off a little speed here. There we go. Flaps 10, 15. Probes down. Ignition continuous and outer feather select. Coming back with the props. Right now we are coming from something police. Hang on. I will answer that after the scoop. After the pickup. Yeah, I forgot my freaking sound visor, but oh man. Alright, coming up. 15. Flaps 10. I mean, it was decent amount of water we got, I think. But the landing, I was not happy with that, but yeah. So you didn't see the waves with this one in the way, so I basically screwed myself with that one. Alright, now, yeah, we're gonna check the name. I keep forgetting it. I'm not usually flying I used to fly in Brazil, but it was on the East Coast, north from Rio and south from Rio basically, and inland a bit with the 737 cargo, PMDGs. It was in 2020, yeah, and Flight Sim 2020. So it was a while ago, I'd say. So that would be the familiar area, and I was looking for that, but they didn't have many fires over there, so that's why we kind of ended up here. And to answer your question, it's Dianopolis. So this is, I'd say, west from Dianopolis, and we have a couple of fires, if I know correctly, to the east from that location as well. Yeah, so we are trying to drop this one into the wind, and I'm happy that we could scoop here because this is so much closer than the other location, other lake, which is, by the way, defect anyway. Like, I think 2/3 or maybe more is missing from the entire lake. Just forest. Alright, arming the doors. Continuous and feather select, check. Water drop standby, check, and oh man. Alright, here we go. So freaking hard to get down in speed with this plane. I really, struggling with it. Alright, kick it to the left then. Try that. Forcing 10. Coming back with the props. 15. Coming in too fast, of course. Where's sloppy? Where's sloppy? For it being so easy and accessible, that was a very sloppy drop. Like, oh, all over the place. Yeah, I'm not on my high really. I had a really shitty day, you can say. And yeah, I should have started streaming around 8 my time, so 2.5 hours ago, actually, more than 2.5 hours ago. Then I had this issue with my graphics card, which seemed to be a pretty like a usual one for people with a 3090, regardless of what PSU they have, what power they have, if it's 850 or if it's 1000 watts. I have 1200 watts, it doesn't matter. But the power lights the one far to the left start blinking. So I have to basically cut all the power and restart. You can't just restart it, you need to cut the power and put it back. So that would take it away, and then it's just basically like a lottery. You don't know if it's coming back or not, and usually after a few sessions, like games or streams, it comes back. One time I had 3 of them blinking at the same time, so yeah. But yeah, there are people kind of ignoring, at least when it's just one light blinking, and I'm about to do the same because it just seemed too darn sensitive. I don't know, and it doesn't affect the, I mean, I don't know if it affects it, but I don't know much difference. Maybe it's shutting something down and I get not as good frames, I don't know. It could have been something else, so I don't really know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as it works, it's fine. But on the next one, I'm gonna open it up and feel the connector so it's not hot or something, you know, I don't know. Everything is top-notch, really. Good cables, good everything. Connectors are good. Yeah, I can't come up with anything else except for Asus releasing some sort of new software or something to the graphics card, except for, or if it's integrated into the driver, I don't know. That would be good from NVIDIA, but it seems just to be the Strix cards that have that issue, what I've heard of. I don't know. Yeah. For putting out fires, I am a little bit laid back, not doing very tight turns, and that's just because I'm really not on my best today, so I'd rather do this and go through with the flight without crashing it. So far I'm not impressed with my landings either, so alright, probes down. Continuous. Yeah, I don't touch those. The ignition. So I shouldn't have to go through it every time, but I'm sloppy with the checklist, so I'm trying to have some discipline and let's go to the left a bit. Flaps 10, 15. Man, it comes up in speed fast. I don't want to provoke it, but
50.
I don't like how close I get to this peninsula here, a little part. Right, coming up, that was full. Going 15 again. That was a little bit close to comfort, I must say. So I have a little hack. I don't know, it makes sense that it would work, but I don't know if the actual aircraft worked that way, but if you go, you're supposed to scoop with flap 15, but if you go 10, kind of catching up speed a little faster because of less drag, obviously. And then you go 15 and you get like a great amount of lift. It's like initiating, like that, almost like a cushion of air. So that happens. Without it, just trying to press through with 15, it takes more space. So, yeah, I do that. I go 10 and 15, back to 10, and then 15 when I'm gonna take off again. Oof. I'm stiff. Like my feet hurts, my leg hurts, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, I don't feel relaxed at all. Good thing it was not like that yesterday, because that was hard and I got confused with the wind direction, and in all the confusion I just forgot the basics. Just look at the freaking waves, and it was like 13-14 knots of wind coming, and I could see the waves clearly, so if I would have just thrown a glance at it, I would know in an instant, alright, this is not, usually I go like towards the sea from the inlet, and this time I would have to go the opposite way, but I didn't react, so I tried to scoop in 15 or 14 knots of tailwind, and I was so surprised that it didn't work. And later checking the stream, I was like, what was I thinking? The speed was like, you could see how fast you were going. It was like a visual experience of how fast I was going, and I was totally blinded for it. Because of all the confusion probably of the winds and whatnot, but I usually don't have a problem with that, but it needs to be mentioned, we have so much more dynamics in the sim right now, like the 2024. So all of a sudden, what I felt when I started flying 24, I was like, man, I can't fly. What is wrong with me? What is the problem, right? So we're gonna do another approach because I just talked too much. All right. Yeah, so that happened, and I was thrown up in the air a couple of times, coming down with the nose. I mean, it was ridiculous. And after that, I was just thrown around and into the trees on the shoreline. So that was a crash for sure. I don't have it on, but I pretty much know, because of FS Realistic, when it's hard or it's close to, you know, damaging the aircraft, I would know anyway, so I know it. Difference is I don't have to start over, basically, or maybe you don't have to do that anymore, but I'm in the belief that you need to start over. Flaps 15, props coming. Oh, boo, 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 boo. Easy there. It's just a props coming up too fast. Alright, alright, alright. I'll give you power. Slightly too late, I think. Or maybe not. And this is usually how I crash. When I crash, I'm outside of the aircraft looking backwards and just messing everything up. I have flown RC planes, so it shouldn't be an issue. But that was years ago, so it is now. Well, have a little look if we actually managed. You're good, you're good. And I think we did a good job there. Alright. So yeah, let's head east, and we're gonna scoop at another lake beyond our origin airport. Airport of origin, sorry. And just gonna catch up a little speed here. let's try a thing, because now we would probably not be continuous on the ignition. Let's see if I forget that, because if I do, I'm not doing my work right. I'm not doing my checklist. It happened before, but then it was not a test. I was just doing what I was supposed to, I guess. I think that's how they do it. If you don't land or scoop or drop, those are basically kept in the middle, if I understand it correctly. But watch those turns. You'll tip, stall at those speeds. Yeah, I know. Especially if you have, like, the air density is I would like to say low, but it might be high. Anyway, I need to find a different definition for that. Like it was yesterday, it happened constantly. Like, it didn't even matter because you had speed and all, and it would drop a wing or turbulence, stuff like that. So it was a mess. Today it's really thick, so I'm not so worried about that. That's why I don't acknowledge. But I have a look on this one. So I like to be in the middle of the green. Coming down here to the white, I usually just not. I don't want to be there. But I've been flying on the yellow as well, so this one with the winglets, I don't know how much you know about this plane like that, but it's an amazing construction, and you can do really, really cool stuff because you have so much authority with the rudders and everything that you can get yourself out of pretty sticky situations, and you can do it fast. So it's an amazing aircraft. It's made for this, for sure. So yeah, usually only reason I crash is because I'm outside of aircraft looking at it like this, and my brain just doesn't compute that I need to do the opposite input, and I do one wrong, I do another wrong, and then I just tipped over basically. That's usually how I make my mistakes, so it's not even realistic. Now if I do it sitting here, that's entirely on me. If I do something ignoring the speed or not paying attention, for sure. But yeah, if you want, you can watch some of the latest one in SoCal. I really love that one. I made a couple of those really tight turns, and it did it without any issues, really. I mean, at some point, sometimes it feels like you're sitting in a freaking helicopter when you do the approach and you use your rudder and taking a like super tight turn. Now we don't have any water, so I could do basically anything I want, but I mean, I could try. But we're really fast now, so. I have full left rudder right now. Full left rudder, constantly. But yeah, of course, if you're going to be able to maneuver this aircraft full of water, you're going to have an overkill machine without the water, obviously, but it's like a truck, basically. Truck without any load. All the brakes are like overkill, and the power is overkill. Everything is overkill because it's measured for when it's loaded, basically. Hey, I'm gonna check this one out. I mean, while we're here anyways. those power lines. We almost cut into those. I kind of wish that they had power lines in between the, what do you call those, the pillars or structures, the posts, I don't know. But I don't think you have. I don't see any. I don't know if it would be easier, you know, sometimes they put these, you know, giant white or red for visibility, the balls on the power line, so you would easily see, it would be easier to see them, to spot them basically. But they don't do it here, not yet anyway. I hope in the future they will upgrade the whole power line system, because it's a thing. It's a big thing. You know, I should not be able to cross here and get tangled up, and you know, it could be a real problem. Very impressive aircraft, I must say. Very impressive. One more thing I would like to be better at is just checking my feet. Like, sometimes I kind of freeze halfway on an input. So I was pressing left rudder all the way a little bit and just noticed that, man, I'm not centered. Pushing left rudder. So maybe I will have to check on that a little bit more frequently, just to see that I didn't freeze in the position with my feet. I'm sure I'm not alone about that, but obviously, I think in a real airplane, you're going to feel stuff like that in a different way. You're going to be connected way better than you would be in a simulator. I mean, that's why I love FS Realistic, because it gives a way, like stall buffet, like stuff like that, sounds in an airframe, flaps and such, gears, and you know, when you land normally, at least in 2020, it was very useful, because every time you land on a runway, you think, oh, you can pat yourself on the back, that was a smooth landing. And then you install FS Realistic, and you know if it's a smooth landing or if it's not. You know, it's going to be way more clear and obvious how you did. So, yeah, I don't think I've done a smooth landing in this one yet on a runway. I have issues with this airplane. I don't know why. So I need to practice a lot of patterns and, you know, just patterns, coming and landing and touch and goes, I mean. Alright, so we have our airport to the left, or airstrip, I would say. And I feel like having a little bit of fun with the environment here and get a little feel for it. what you're riding there. Turboprops and props in general are always harder to land than jets. They have to be almost thrown at the ground. They are also more directly responsive to power changes like any prop. Yeah, okay. Yes. Man, we got one really close, but it looks like actually this might be the one. Hang on. Yeah, this is the one we need to try out, this little lake here. I'm gonna have take the winds, see what our sensors say about the matter. Also probes down. Let's see here. It says right here, right now, 099, 098. So yeah, it's changed already. Oh. Alright. I see power lines again. Jesus. 098, there we go. Okay, so that's the wind is coming from, so we're gonna have a crosswind again, but we gotta try to turn into the wind basically, if possible. So let's see, that would be, I think it's better to come that way, I mean like we're doing now, because I have high grounds to the right. If I'm gonna turn to the right, this way we can continue in this little valley here. So let's do that. I don't know, turboprops, the Kodiak 100, it doesn't seem like I have a problem with that at all. I can put it down really, really gently, although that's just one engine, so. But it's a high wing just like this, so I don't know. And I don't think it should be a problem. So I don't really agree on that. I think it's strange that I can't make it. It's so hard for me to land this one on a runway, but I can do it really smoothly on a lake, for instance. I mean, it's just basically the depth, so I don't know where I get the wheels kind of thing. And usually that is a bit hard, but okay, something is going on here. Turbulence. Flaps 10, flaps 15. And where are the freaking power lines? One seems to be here though. You know, information like that, you always know that prior to doing anything like this, but not here. Because, I don't know, I need to do a lot of studying before if I'm going to do it, stream, and know everything, every power line and every obstacle, really. I mean, on the Garmin you can actually see it, so. Man.
50.
No, I don't want to get airborne. Not yet, not yet. Alright. Probe's coming up. Flaps 15 coming. Oh shit. I mean, I can always drop the water, but I don't like not having any. I'm just gonna go straight now. I'm not gonna do anything. We got a steady climb right now, so not gonna. Oh, all right, going underneath. Jesus. See, this is what I'm talking about. Oh man. Okay, so no full. I can't scoop full here. I need to, you know, skedaddle before we reach the power lines to the left. So now we know. Going flaps 10. Coming down on the props, flaps up. And should be into the wind now. Let's see what you're writing there. Thanks, transmission towers. Yeah. Transmission towers. Alright, I didn't know that one. That's a new word for me. Thanks. You do some real flying, Black Knight? Or flying in a simulator as me? If you do real flying, you probably already get to that nut. Alright, arming that one and continuous. Yeah, see, I didn't do the checklist for the scooping. I would have turned this on. Anyway, fail. Alright, see which one is going to take out first. Or which one we're going to focus on. We got another lake here. This one looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'm going to try this one. It's not big, but if we take half a load, it's really close. So really efficient. And hopefully no power lines around here. Yeah, this one is close to the river, so I'm probably not going to take this one out yet. Going flaps 10. Yeah. That one is close to road, so yes. I'd say it's yes, we do. We're not doing it right. But it's enough. Also, I have flaps 10 right now. Whoa, okay, I missed that one. So not so long ago, I switched my controls, my buttons for the drop versus the pickup, the probes. So yeah. So what it was. Yeah, I wasn't even lowering the probes. I was actually pressing the first one I assigned to it, and it was long ago. So that's crazy. Sorry about the noise. Let me just say one thing. Magic. I just used a little magic here. Man. I think I'm gonna write them a mail, the developers for Fire Global 24, Aero Fire Global 24. So now it's a thing. You can actually put out fires without dropping the water. Only thing you have to do is basically go low over them, and that would be put out. It would trigger it. So we still have all the water. Magic. I'm gonna spawn them again. Hang on. This is ridiculous. And magic. Alright, here we go. Not random, but live rather. Here we go. That should reignite them. Should reignite them. There we go. There they are. Alright. Let's do this right. I was wondering, notice no increase in the load. I was wondering. Yeah, I was so fast, it was just whoosh. Exactly. All right, now we're talking. Smoky Smokerson. That's another thing. Sometimes you get a lot of smoke, sometimes you get this, like a freaking campfire, you know? So I don't know. Don't know what's going on. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna pick the right button now, this time. A little bit fast. I think we're gonna be good. Right, turning away from the smoke, I think. Keep watching the airspeed here. Don't want to mess up. Alright, we put that one out. Yay, us. You know, it's funny. It's so simple, but that's the opposition, or whatever you want to call it. Like sometimes I do the drop and I can't put it out, and I do 6 drops and I still can't put it out, and I would believe that is a bug. Then you have this, you look at the fire and it's scared and just disappearing. You're scaring it with your presence, basically. Alright, here we go. Continuous. Select on the other feather. And we have 15 flaps, 15. Alright. This looks promising, even though we have oh shit! This looks promising, he said. Alright. What an adventure. Wow.
100.
I would love to come down
50.
in speed. Yeah, aerial fighter forces nightmare. I mean, yeah. No power lines, no power lines. Alright, so we're still gonna come this way. Not to, you know, mess with the power lines. Flaps 10. Jesus Christ. have the airspeed, I think, so yeah. That's a very good thing to be having. I try to turn into the wind now. We're good. Shading a little bit with the rudders, buffeting. Stall. See? So that's shaking. You can hear it. You can see it. That's what I believe is FS realistic, because I don't think you get that otherwise. I'm not sure though. I have to be honest. I haven't tried it without, so maybe once or twice in the beginning, but I don't remember how it was because I didn't try it out, so maybe I should try it without. It's possible that you get the shaking, but the sounds usually come from FS realistic. Alright, this one is serious. This one means business. And I think we're gonna approach it in a crosswind, so we will not fly through this with all the particles and whatnot, I'm thinking. So I'm gonna try to reach it from the, if it's possible, I don't know. Reach it from the edge of the smoke. Alright. Oh, what's happening? Now it's coming this way? Oh my god. Alright. So right of now, this seems to be the best approach, coming from this way. Props coming back. Flaps are 15. Ignition continuous. And drop doors are armed. There it is. Alright. Going through the power lines might start another fire and a blackout all at once. Yep. We need to search and rescue. Hang on. Alright, so it's out now at least. Alright, we're going back to... No, we're not. We still got fuel, so... Just gonna read your message there. Hang on. That was the tower reservoir for hydro station. You passed the pump house inbound to the lake. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, okay. So that building is the pump house, right? Oh yeah, it makes sense. Now that, and the power lines are to the right. Yeah, the pump house, right? Oh, cool. Very cool. Alright, we're gonna see if we have other fires going in the neighborhood. Now let's see. We are here. We should have one to the left, but we probably just put this one out, so these out. And we should have one. Yeah, these are the ones actually, because this is close to the road and the other one is close to the river, so they are still marked out because they are active in real life. But I would like to see. So we got, let's see. Yeah, this was the one we put out earlier, I think. What we started off with. And this lake right here is the one that's missing more than half of it. Yeah, we can fly home and see what we do. Back to base. See if I can manage a landing. We have plenty of fuel left. So far, I think SoCal has been most exciting, if I can use that word, since it's in a simulator, but I love to scoop in the reservoirs, and the intensity makes it look so much, more realistic. When you got like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fires going at once, and the smoke and everything, it's and also the mountains, so everything is more interesting to, I'm usually more stoked to do that, and kind of coming together in myself to do it better than I have something like this, and I kind of like relaxing and making worse. So that's typical. Maybe typical human, I don't know, maybe typical me, possibly. A lot of power lines all over the place. Yep. Right underneath us. Yeah, we're about to overfly the airport, or airfield, I would say. And man, do they love them. What was this? Transition tower? Transmission lines? I'm still confused. Like that was... Alright, let's do the landing checklist. I'm actually going to announce
Sierra Whiskey Delta November traffic.
final because she doesn't do that.
Southwest, 2,900
Alright, whatever.
to land, runway 10,
I didn't click
Sierra
anything,
Whiskey
but
Delta
now
November
she's
traffic.
doing it. But as I turn final, she doesn't do crap, you know? So I'm just going to do that so I don't have to deal with it.
Sierra Whiskey Delta November traffic. Raymond Tree is on final. Runway 10 to land Sierra Whiskey Delta November traffic.
Alright, there it is. Request landing clearance, ignition continuous, landing lights, fuel. We got fuel, and there we go. Too short of an approach. Condition full, flaps full now. 3 green. Yeah, this is how you should not do a landing, basically. So I'm a very good example of what not to do right now. And I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna do a go around now because I'm just gears up. I should not do this like this anyway. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being the freaking human factor all the time. That I do really well. 'Can't tell me about it. The amount of XP, and they have cables hanging from them. Yeah, in XP, what now? Looks great. I would love to believe it. Or maybe you meant the aircraft in the turn. Because she looks great. She does. Alright, gears coming out. Also, I'm gonna make a steeper approach because it was plenty of downdraft. So I think I'm gonna just go for it from up here actually. I'll do a carrier landing. No, not really, but. Alright, full flaps, gears out, 3 green. Props full. See? I don't know what's going on here. I actually don't know what's going on here. But it does something that I don't like. Yeah. I would love to be on the center line, but I'm not, so. Man! Alright. I mean, fairly good. Not really beautiful, but it was not hard. And also, cleaning up. Alright, landing lights coming off. There we go. I don't know what to say. You just have to choose, like, either you have the center line or you do a smooth landing. But yeah, it was not that, you know, it's kind of a narrow field. You know, excuses. I just basically suck at landing these. I need to work on that. What can I say? I need to work on my landings, and this is maybe not the airport to do so. First off, I need to conquer the smoothness and center line, and then I can start working with the downdrafts and whatnot. Anyone want to try a funky landing, try Molokai on Hawaii, coming runway 5, just with the trees, coming over the trees, and it's really sucking you right down, and it's 9 times out of 10 I get that effect there. Maybe not so much in this one for some weird reason. It might have been a lucky shot, but every other aircraft I approach there, I get that. Not completely awful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Alright, so pressure off, guiders off, generators off, bleed, yeah, I just shut them off. Taxi off, lights off. There we go. And I think that's all, folks. I started a little bit late because I had issues with the computer, and then I got hungry and whatnot, so yeah. Considering that, this was a good flight. We didn't crash. We were close to a couple of power lines. Our landing was a bit questionable. Our approach was even more questionable. But yeah, there you have it. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, and hope to see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, especially you, Black Knight, writing in the chat. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a good one too. Bye for now.